Hello everyone, hope you're having a very blessed day. It's Renee at Lovely Lavender Wishes and welcome back. We are in Song of Songs or Song of Solomon, depending on how your Bible has it labeled. Either way, it's the same book. It is the love book, I call it. If you've never read it before, I suggest you do. It's a great book with incredible imagery. So anyways, I did want to recommend, it's a YouTube videos. I think they have a website as well, but it's called The Bible Project. So if you've never read the Song of Songs or you want to know what the book is about or whatever, go to The Bible Project. It's a free service. They do incredible videos, y'all. Incredible. I've been following them for years. And they will give you an overview of each book of the Bible and then tell you like the main themes, the main verses. They do like this cartoon type picturing on their videos. It's really, really well done. So if you've never seen them before, it's called The Bible Project. But if you want to know what Song of Songs is about or any book of the Bible, you can go to their videos and they'll do an overview of the book, which is really, really great because sometimes I like watching that video before I go back in and read the book, because they might point out a different theme or maybe something that you haven't caught before. And, a couple times they've made me look at things in a different way. So it's just a good suggestion if any of you are interested. So throwing that out there for y'all. So today we are going to be doing the first page of Song of Songs. This is just going to be a general page of the book. So it's going to be about love, y'all. And I'm all about using what you have, and I've been really trying to use up a lot of the materials that I have. I'm not even making a dent in that. I'm really trying, y'all. But I do have a lot of napkins, and this was one of my favorite images. I saw this little napkin, and I was like, oh my gosh, isn't that so sweet? Look at that. And to me, that just, I don't know, signified love. It was just a really cute picture. So this is the picture I'm going to use. I know y'all probably are thinking, man, she always uses napkins. But I'm using them, number one, because I have them. Number two, because they're easy. And number three, I just love the imagery that these are portraying. So you don't have to have a napkin. You can draw your own picture. You can cut out pictures from magazines. You can download pictures. You can use stickers, whatever you want. But we're going to do a couple other techniques on this page as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put that napkin aside. So I cut that out. I cut that out a long time ago. I just love that imagery, so I already had that cut. So that one I fussy cut out. And for those of you who are curious as to what scissors I use for fussy cutting, I use the Cutter Beast scissors. Not that you have to, but I always get questions. I love these scissors, so I have a couple pairs of those actually. Okay, so on the back of this page is my pop-up flower page. So it's a little poofy right here. So I'm gonna try to do this around that. I probably should have done this page first, but God didn't give me, the image yet for this page, and I was working on this page. So I kind of skip around in my Bible, but we're back to this page. I did prep my page just a little bit with a little bit of gesso because I'm going to be stamping with distress ink. So I have two colors, Victorian Velvet and Spiced Marmalade, only because, again, my napkin here has this kind of pinkish color, which is going to be the Victorian Velvet, and then it's got this kind of orangish, yellowish color, which is a little bit of the Spiced Marmalade. I was it's got yellow in here too, so I was debating between the Victorian Velvet and the yellow, but this does come out a little yellow. So we'll see. If I need to add some more yellow, I can add a yellow. Let me grab it just in case. Let's see. Oh, okay. I had this Wild Honey. This is a Distress Oxide though, so I'm gonna kind of leave this till last because I want the Distress ink to kind of blend together if at all possible. So we'll see. We'll see how it looks. Everything's trial and error. Y'all know that. So I have this heart stencil, and since this page is about love, I'm gonna do the hearts. I'm gonna be literal about it, and I'm just going to maybe do it in just like a couple areas because the napkin's gonna cover. I'm thinking of putting the napkin again, as you saw, probably right around here. Now, for those of you who don't like to cover your words, You can, move the napkin over, but I'm gonna do something along the side here, so I kind of wanted to leave that open. And this is a really light napkin, and as I could already see the words through here, and I don't even have this gessoed on yet. And when I gesso it on, it even makes it more translucent, so I'm really not afraid of losing my words. But again, y'all, this is my Bible journaling Bible. This is not my study Bible. It's just, the Bible that I create in. And I, form pictures in. So I don't really mind if I go over the words, but I know some people don't like it, so then don't do it. Don't go over the words. Do you. Do what's good for you and what you feel convicted of or not convicted of or whatever. Okay, so get my Victorian velvet and we're gonna start creating, y'all. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the stencil and I always start light, y'all know that, but I do want some like dark areas. I like how, like in some areas of the stencil, it'll be dark. And then other areas, it'll be lighter. See, I like that, how it just kind of fades in and out. I'm trying to get near the spiral. My book's getting so thick, y'all. Okay, now I'm also going to, since this is like a different color family, I'm gonna use a different brush just because I have it out, but sometimes I'll mix and combine. I know people sometimes can't stand that. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. I'll clean off my brushes and but see how this is kind of like a yellowish orange a little bit, and some are darker than, I like kind of going in and make some darker than others, and I'm mixing it with the pink so I get like a little faded kind of look. And I'm gonna keep both these open. So I don't think I need that yellow because this is kind of a yellowish orange. I'm gonna come back in with some of the pink and just kind of blend it a little bit. See, look at that. Oh, cute, 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 cute. Okay, now I don't like this. I'm gonna try to match this up right around here, and I don't like, harsh edges. I don't like it to end with harsh edges, so I like it to kind of keep going a little bit. So it doesn't look like there was the stencil kind of thing. So I just kind of move it around and add a few other ones so it doesn't look like that was, just the stencil area. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some coming in from this way. Make sure I have that there. Protect my other sheets. Again, some dark, some light. I like having the dark like around like some of the areas of the hearts. No rhyme or reason. Oh, I like that. Ooh, cute, 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 cute. And let's do some pink down here. It might get covered up from the stencil, but that's okay. Oh, and you can see here where I probably missed some gesso area. Am I on screen right there? Yeah. But that's fine. That gives me a textured look, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, you're gonna find that when you're using gesso, the distress ink will, I think it's smoother on the gesso versus the regular paper. So a lot of times I like gessoing the paper before I use the ink because it makes the ink, like you can kind of tell the difference, the smoothness versus the rough texture of the paper. I guess it just depends. And it depends, what you have underneath. I have a napkin underneath, so it might be picking up some of the texture from the napkin and things like that as well. So depending on what you have on either side of your page, that's going to affect things as well. Okay, I want just a little bit more pink. So, trying to think. I'm gonna actually do another layer, and I want to see how this works. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. So I want to have different layers. So I'm going to do a little bit here. Oh, I like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and just do a couple little ones over here. So it's kind of we've got different layers going on. Y'all know me and my layers. I gotta have layers. It gives the page just, I don't know, a different look, I guess. And I'm just gonna move all this so it's out of my way. Okay. It gives the page a different look, and it gives it some dimension, and it doesn't just look like this, you know, just plain old page, I guess. But not only that, like, it looks like you've done so much, but really you haven't. It's super easy, you know? So I like things like that. That's why I like napkins as well. It looks like you made this gorgeous picture, but you didn't. It's just a napkin. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my water and watered down gesso and get this napkin on. I'm gonna start over here because there's no ink. You have to be careful because Distress ink is water-based, or, you know, it reacts with water. So as soon as you start getting some water on here, it's going to smear. So you wanna make sure that, making sure it's in the right spot here. So I want to make sure that I am just putting gesso where I need this napkin to go so I don't smear my ink too much. I mean, it's going to smear, but it won't matter if it's smeared underneath the napkin because you're not going to see it anyways, if that makes sense. So see, if I smear the ink underneath this napkin, it's really not going to matter. Okay, and the best way that I've told you all before, I mean, those of you who have been following me and know how I do the napkins, the best way is to, or at least the way I found that's the best way, is to do it in sections like this and kind of pat it down as you go, and then fold your napkin over and then do another little section. This kind of helps keep the bubbles out, keeps the wrinkles out. It's a lot easier to control, personally, I think. Instead of trying to do the whole napkin all at once. But, you know, again, you do it whatever way is easiest for you. This, I found, seems to be the easiest for me. So that's the way I choose to do it. But if you know a better way, then do it. Don't do what I say if you have a better way to do it. Now I gotta be careful, make sure I'm not gonna smear any of these past the napkin. Okay. Now let's get this little birdie. Okay. Where's his little tail gonna go? It's a little bent, so I'm gonna try to fix his tail while I go. And I know a lot of people get afraid of using napkins. Don't be afraid. They are delicate, but they're also very resilient. You can just piece it back together if it tears. It's no biggie. Just piece the thing back together. You'll never know it was ripped or broken or torn or whatever. I've torn plenty of napkin in my day, and no biggie, just put it back together. Okay, this is super delicate with all these little pieces right here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do the top. And I do the top for a couple reasons. Again, to seal it, number one. Number two, to get rid of a lot of the bubbles and crinkles that I have. But I love what napkins do. I love the bubbles and crinkles a little bit. You know, it gives it a textured look. So I do like that look. Also to make it more translucent. And again, you've all heard me say this 1,000 times if you've watched me and seen me do napkins. And I do them a lot, so I know you've heard me say this a lot. But for those of you who are new, that's why I do it. And you'll see it'll help eliminate a lot of the crinkles and bubbles, and it makes your napkin sealed to the page better. Also, it'll make it more translucent. So if you want to see the words, see, watch. If you want to see the words through the napkin, look at that. You can see them through the napkin. I usually work from the center out instead from out in, because you don't want to pull the napkin, the edges of the napkin in. You want to brush them out and seal them to the page. And you can just play with how watered down your gesso is. I just water it down every once in a while. I just want it to run smoothly and not, you know, not have any chunks or anything. But see, when you do the top, it'll make your napkin more translucent so you can see underneath it better. So I could see a little bit of my stamping underneath. I could see the words. It seals it better, as well as gets rid of all the little crinkles and stuff. But if you have some crinkles, you know, no biggie. That's the beauty of the napkins. It gives it that textured look, which I love. I love that textured look. Just be careful when you're out here that you don't smear your ink from your stencils. So you kind of want to be careful, like when you get around that part. But okay, I always put my brush, let me grab a paper towel. I always put my brush in water directly after I use gesso. Especially if I can't get it to a sink right away and wash it, this will help keep the gesso from hardening in the brush. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of my way since we don't need this anymore, but I'm gonna try to keep my brush in the water. Rub this. Okay, now we need to dry this because nothing else will work again if we don't dry this. So I'm gonna get my heating tool and we're gonna dry this. I have to be careful because I've got stuff on the other side that will heat up as well. So I'm also going to heat up and hopefully dry a little bit the ink just in case. So if you do have one of these heating tools and you've never used one before, this is probably one of the tools I use over and over again. Stencils I use a lot, my distress inks I use a lot, I use napkins a lot, and then this heating tool quite often. So if you're looking for one of these, you can use anything. You can use a blow dryer, hair dryer. You could let it air dry if you want. You can use a fan. I mean, whatever works. I mean, it'll take a long time. These heating tools do get hot pretty quickly. So you do have to be aware of that. But if you are looking to buy a tool, this would be one that and they're not very expensive. They're about $10, I think, $10 to $20, I guess, depending on which one you get. But yeah, this is one of the tools that I use on a regular basis, and I'm so glad I got it. I'm not one to buy a lot of tools per se, but yeah, this is one that I like. And this one is the Paper Studio Embossing Heat Tool. I'm just looking at the name here. I don't know when and where I got it. I've had it for a while, but it has definitely gotten its use for me, for sure. But look at that, already the page. I mean, you just did a couple stencils and a napkin, and look at the page already. It looks like it's like a gorgeous piece of work of art that you didn't do anything. Like you really didn't do anything. You just, stenciled and glued. That's it. I like pages like that. But then you all know I'm gonna have to bling it up a little. I'm gonna have to do something. I got a couple ideas up my sleeve for this page. Okay, that should be good. It should be good, hopefully. We shall see. Okay, so there we go so far. Pretty, huh? Okay. So since it's about love, and I was kind of looking through my room, I had some stickers. So of course, let me grab my stickers. I'm gonna use some stickers that I have. I had some of these little XO stickers, and these are, it says metallic. These I think I got from the dollar store. Yeah, Crafter Square. So this was dollar store stickers. And they're little like poofy stickers, metallic. So we're gonna use a couple of those, I think. And then I had these, and I'm thinking of maybe using a couple of these quotes. We'll see what works. But on the side, I wanted to do some ribbon work, which I haven't done in a while. And I found this ribbon and this ribbon. I have a ton of ribbon in my room, and so I just turned my head and looked at the first rack of ribbons I had, and I had these two, and I was like, wow, these are actually perfect colors. Because look at it, this color matches these flowers, this like purplish with the pink, and it's kind of watercolory. So I like that, and I'm thinking of doing something down the side here. So let me grab my scissors. And I'm gonna give myself a little space, a little extra ribbon, just in case I need it. So I'm gonna cut that off so then I can move the roll. And then I have this sheer pink ribbon, and of course, you know, that goes with all the pink too, and I thought it went with this really well. And I was thinking of a couple things. I was thinking like I would put this down the side and then maybe tie this, let's see how it'll work, tie this to this ribbon into a bow. But then my other thought was the bow might be a little too thick because I've got a lot of thick things in here, and I'm trying to keep my pages as flat as possible at this point because my book is getting so big. But, you know, let me see. That's a lot of ribbon. Okay, so I could tie, so what I was thinking, let me show you what I was thinking. If you have any kind of ribbon, let's move this, get out of the way. Okay, like we'll glue this to the top and glue this to the bottom so you have this kind of in the middle. And I wanted it to pinch this ribbon perfectly if I can. Y'all know me. Perfection is, well, you know, nothing's ever perfect, but try to get it as perfect as possible. There's my perfectionism coming out. Okay, so I was thinking of doing either a bow here. So let's try a couple things. It's all trial and error. So I could do a bow and fluff it out. Maybe pull this down a little. That might be really cute. So this would be tied here. And it's not too thick. If you can make your bow kind of flat, that might work. Have a little bow. Kind of like a gift. Oh, that is cute. Okay, I might, let me tighten this up a little bit. Get it flat as much as I can. Pull this in. Fluff this up and pull this one in and fluff this up. And just kind of fool with it. So you could either do that, or if you don't want the bow, you can just have it tied, well, we'll just do it again later. Or you can just tie it like this, and then you just have this part, and then you can cut this and have that hanging out like that and a little tail here. I mean, you can kind of fiddle around with it and do whatever, but now that I had the bow, I'm kind of thinking I like that. So I'm gonna tighten this part. I think I'm gonna go with the bow. We'll see, you know, I'm sure. Every time I say I'm gonna keep my page flat, I keep adding stuff that makes it not flat. Oh, this Bible's gonna be exploding soon. And there's probably a way you can make a bow. I wonder if I do. No, that's still gonna give me a knot, like a poofy knot there. You could, I know there's ways you can make bows and then just stick them. Like you can make a bow separate. I wonder if we can, and then just stick it on there. If you made like your own little bow from the outside, and then just kind of stick it on, then you wouldn't have that big knot in the middle either. So you can kind of fool around with that. I'd have to fool around. I don't know how that, I don't remember how to do those. I'd have to like just goof around and fool around with it. I'm sure there's a YouTube video tutorial on how to make bows without the knot in the middle or make it flat. But right now, it's actually pretty flat with this ribbon, so I'm gonna stick with this. Okay, so let's get the bow the way we want it. Just fiddle around with it, make it the way you want. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut this like that and move this out of the way. Ooh, well, it's out of the way now, it's on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna cut this a little, so there we go. Ooh, pretty. So then you'll have some kind of hanging out, and that's actually pretty flat. It's not that poofy, not as poofy as I thought. Okay, then I'm gonna grab my glue, and I'm going to glue. So let me let that start coming down. I'm gonna cut this across right about there. Get rid of that. And I'm just gonna glue the end here. Actually, I'm gonna glue the whole ribbon down but I want to make sure the end is pretty, you know, pretty strong there. I'm going to glue it all the way down, and then same at the bottom. I make sure that that end. So we're going to glue that there, right across the top, and pull it tight down your page so it's flat. And you might want to put, I'm going to put like another little dollop of glue right under this bow area to make sure that that, and then hold it down. And I want to make sure that this is going straight down the page. And then you can take your scissors and just cut off the bottom part. If you want, you can have it go all the way around the page and like a gift wrap kind of, if you want it to go all around the page, but I've got this on this side, so I'm gonna just leave that. You could sew it on if you wanna get brave. The only hard part would be is trying to get this whole page under your sewing machine, unless you have like a handheld, like little mini sewing machine, and I might have to get one of those. Those would be kind of cute and cool to have, to do like those portable little hand sewing machines. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so you got a little love package going. Okay, and then I have the, like I said, I have these stickers. So I'm just gonna kind of fool and see where I would want these. I definitely want this love somewhere. Ooh. Gotta have the bling, gotta have the gold. So I'm thinking maybe like right here, right by the birds. We'll just say they're in love right there. Like them. I had this rose, I don't, oh, it's kind of see-through too. Oh, that's kind of cool. I was thinking maybe attaching it to the ribbon, but hang on, we'll put that to the side for a second. I had this, my one and only, and it got a little torn right there, so no problem. We'll just cut that little piece off. You'll never know that was there. My one and only, I'm gonna cut that part off too, so it looks even. So we could, if we had this flower here, my one and only, or just leave that there and do the flower up here. What do y'all think? I actually like the flower up here, just because I feel like it's kind of empty up here. But do I want to attach it? No, I think I like that. I'm just gonna do that. Okay, there it goes. Made the decision. And I'm actually gonna put some glue behind this to make sure it sticks to the ribbon. So this could mean my one and only, of course, you know, Jesus is our one and only, or it could, you know, have your own love story, you and your husband, Solomon and his wife, and this, the Shulamite woman. But I am taking my one and only for sure. Jesus is my one and only. And then my husband. God, and then my husband. He knows he's second on my list. He's glad about that. He's glad to be second. He's glad to be second on my list. Okay, and there we go. There's the page. So here, let me move all this. Let's take this out so that's not, and there we go. So let me bring it up close. There is our Song of Solomon, first page, all about love, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. Whether it's laughing at me or enjoying the commentary or just having fun in God's Word. And you know, that's the best part. Just have fun in God's Word. So thank you all again for joining me. I will see you next time in the next video. Y'all have a very blessed day. Bye.